Back in the day, outside of the original Weekly Shōnen Jump publication, Viz would release an English magazine simply titled Shonen Jump, which would feature multiple chapters of their top series and a few others. They would also come with Yu-Gi-Oh cards to encourage readers to buy. March 2012 had a special release dedicated to Blue Exorcist with a double-page spread from art of the series and character designs from Tiger and Bunny. This particular issue had nothing crazy in terms of content or debut chapters, but this just so happened to be my very first issue of Shonen Jump. Upon picking it up from a random box at my local comic book store, I was sucked into the world of shonen manga that I had previously only known through the animes that I had watched on Toonami. This issue would end up changing my life forever. Fast forward to 2024, I now open up the Shonen Jump app on my phone every Sunday to read all the latest chapter releases. My love for the Shonen Jump magazine and Shonen Jump manga in general started for me picking up that issue all those years ago, and I've been fortunate to experience the vast sea of series since then. But I'm not here to talk about the glory days. I'm here to talk to you about the future. While that young kid was able to enjoy the run of the certified Big Three, never could he have imagined the host of amazing series that exist right now. The current era of Shonen Jump is amazing. The 2020s have had some disappointments, axes, and weird entries, but the cream will always rise to the top. And boy, are things getting creamy. Should I leave that in? Today, I want to talk about the current era of Shonen Jump by going over all of my favorite new series and hopefully illustrate that I think we may be experiencing the greatest era of Shonen Jump to date. So let's get started with a bang. Released on November 21st, 2020, and created by Yuto Suzuki, Sakamoto Days is an action-filled story following the life of retired assassin Sakamoto. This family-loving, store-owning god of assassinations gets pulled back into his old life after a spiral of events that ramp up the pressure as the story continues. Seriously, it's pretty insane where the story has gone from where we've started. From battles at an amusement park, secret bases, assassination schools, Bangkok, a museum, all while going up against the most dangerous assassins alive. Our boy Sakamoto really can't catch a break. Now, I know what you're thinking, but Mr. Star fights in different areas against strong opponents. What's so special about that? You can say that about literally any other series. I mean, I guess you could, sure, but do any of these other series have an old man sharpening his blade with a bullet? No, I didn't think so. The true appeal of Sakamoto Days is in the spectacle. Suzuki has to be on some other shit writing this story, because never in my life did I ever think I would see someone change the trajectory of a bullet with the rotation of a free spinning wheel. Like, what? Every encounter is electric. Every character is so entertaining, which is one of my favorite aspects of the story. From friend or foe, this manga is full of characters who have so much charisma and varied personalities that it's hard to choose sometimes who you want to come out on top. Right now, my favorite is Nagumo. He is such a cocky, tricky bastard who knows how to talk shit and keep it cool. All his fights are peak. Sakamoto Days just concluded one of its best arcs so far, and it just got announced that the anime will be coming out this year, so there is no better time to become a fan than right now. And speaking of a series that is getting an anime this year, Dandadan is a Jump Plus heavy hitter that follows the story of Momo Ayase and Ken Takakura as they partake in crazy adventures into the supernatural, the extraterrestrial, and the just straight up weird. The charm of Dandadan to me is in its style and creativity. Much like how Soul Eater incorporates the Halloween Tim Burton aesthetic into every aspect of its story, Dandadan does the same with the occult. Mixing in yokai spirits, aliens, and urban legends into the world makes for some killer character designs and story elements. Yokinobu really knows how to use these conspiracy theory-esque themes to the manga's advantage. Dandadan can go from having an undersea battle with the Loch Ness Monster, to a giant monster fight with a Godzilla suit, to an all-out brawl featuring the alien from Alien, and that dude from Persona. On top of that, Dandadan is amazing with its tone switching. Yokinobu's writing is my favorite aspect of the story. Not only will you find some high energy action scenes, but the romance between our two main characters is fresh, adorable, and entertaining, which took me by surprise. I'm usually not a huge fan of romance in battle shonen, but Dandadan really knocked it out of the park. But the true highs of the series can be shown in the emotional moments. Just when you're enjoying the climax of a fight, you will be greeted with one of the most heart-wrenching flashback scenes, yet the story is so well crafted that it feels natural compared to how other series attempted this method of emotional storytelling. We're actually reaching the climax of the current arc that took place in a board game of all places, featuring one of the coolest characters so far, Yunji Zuma, and they pulled out all the stops for his backstory. Real tear-jerking material. Much like Sakamoto Days, Dandadan is just consistently good every week. The level of creativity both of these series exhibit in their approach to the shonen genre is so much fun to read, which again confuses the hell out of me why this series is not on the main Weekly Shōnen Jump page. This series can go toe-to-toe with the best of them. Dandadan will be getting an anime later this year, and the studio behind it is my personal favorite, Science Saru, so I am extremely excited to watch it. But let's pivot back to the main stage for a second and look at a series that I think simply does not get enough love. Man, does that guy ever shut up. How's it going, people? It's your boy johnnystar. Just quick little side note before we get into the rest of the video. This isn't an ad. I just wanted to take this as an opportunity to use my platform to do some good. I wanted to let you guys know that this video and all the proceeds for the ad revenue will be going towards a relief fund for all of the people and children of Palestine and Gaza. The Palestine Children Relief Fund. They specialize in getting essential support and necessities to families who are affected by the genocide happening in Palestine right now. Food, medical supplies, clean water. They are also assisting in the support of rebuilding healthcare facilities and also assisting with long-term help and support for the people affected. I'm going to be using my platform to assist, and if you would like to donate however much you have, the link will be in the description below. So thank you very much for your time. Free Palestine, and let's get back into the video. I love Gokurakugai, but to be honest, I love it for a very specific reason. Released on July 4th, 2022, and created by Yuto Sano, Gokurakugai follows our high-energy, high-spirited problem solver Alma and his beautiful, laid-back partner Tao, as they take odd jobs, investigate random cases, and take down monsters known as Maga, creatures that were once human. As the story continues, a web of murders and mysterious paths start to unravel. It's pretty gruesome, and it scratches that murder mystery part of my brain. So far, my favorite arc is the cannibalism arc. It follows Alma's relationship with this very strange girl who's also secretly part MAGA. Watching as Alma does his best to save her from herself, only to be met with tragedy, is some delicious writing. It also displays the best art I've seen in a manga in a while. It's a monthly, which makes sense for how much detail goes into the art, but I am just a sucker for really great illustrations and great character designs. Yuto's art is absolutely peak, especially with the female characters. The soft yet striking features, the way they dress and pose is very appealing to me. The characters are also very expressive, which is par for the course with most manga, but with the added detail, it makes for some memorable panels. But truly, what makes me like this series so much is that it's basically Red Blue Exorcist. Demons, half human, half demon main character, really good art, monster designs. It's everything I like in Blue Exorcist, but in a new manga. Gokurakugai takes more of the monster of the week format with the investigation angle. Like I said earlier, it gets super dark with the monster encounters, even darker than Blue Exorcist, and I think that's where Gokurakugai will set itself up for success. With only 14 chapters out at the time of this recording, its future is not as set in stone as some of the other series we're covering today, but I still have high hopes for it because it is just a blast to read. Speaking of uncertainty, I really want to talk about a series that I almost thought I was never going to be able to read a new chapter for again, but as luck would have it, this series came back in a major way. Ruri Dragon is something truly special. This series went from having an explosive release back on June 13th of 2022, then going on an indefinite hiatus a few months later, to then come back on March 4th, 2024 to love and appreciation like it never left. And I think it's unbelievably well deserved. Ruri Dragon is about a young girl named Rui who wakes up one morning to an incredible discovery that she is half dragon, and now has to navigate her school and personal life with these new features like horns and fire breathing and electric wind god fist. If you want a proper rundown of what Ruri Dragon is, I did a full video on the series, its reception in its hiatus back in 2023, which still holds up now, so go check that out. But for now, I want to specifically cover where this series picked up, because creator Masaoki Shindo took off running with this story. Ruri's return deals with our main character learning to manage her new electric discharge ability and how to deal with this new girl who hates her guts. Chapter 12 is a real standout, dealing with Ruri confronting this new character named Maeda and why she hates her so much. But the reveal is interesting because it's a trait about Ruri that can be seen pretty early in the chapter if you know where to look. Ruri Dragon has excelled in making the mundane elements of slice of life and going to school fun to read through. But these new chapters after the series return highlighted for me how good Masaoki is at creating a natural flow of events for Ruri to go on that connect her dragon abilities to her relationships with other characters. The only reason Ruri is even having to deal with Maeda in the first place is because her teacher placed her in a club to keep her abilities from acting up around other students. The only reason Ruri needed to study with Kaneshiro is because she missed school from her fire breathing accident. Her adapting to her new abilities creates these great story opportunities for Ruri to interact with different classmates and have their personalities clash. It's never directly said or put in the audience face. It's deceptive but effective subtext, and I love stuff like that. This is a character-driven narrative that feels very modern, cozy, and warm. It's a breath of fresh air, and like I said in the previous Ruri Dragon video, this series for me stamped a shift in Shonen Jump's era, where series like this can be a mainstay without crazy left-field storytelling or loud bombastic events. You can have something soft and beautifully crafted as long as the writing is top tier, and that's what Ruri Dragon is for me. Or at least it was the shift. Don't get me wrong, I still think Ruri Dragon is the shining star of the new gen, but I think there's one series that truly embodies what is so special about this new era of Shonen Jump. Kagurabachi, the dark horse of Shonen Jump. A series that no one expected to be as great as it is. A series that many, including myself, doubted would be able to stand on its own. But I am here to tell you that we were wrong. Released on September 23rd of 2023 and created by Takeru Hokazono, Kagurabachi has become my favorite out of all of the series we've talked about so far for a specific reason, and that reason is what permeates throughout all of the great series that exist now on Shonen Jump. This series has style. A story about a boy on the hunt for revenge after his father, a renowned mystical swordsmith, is murdered by a mysterious group of sorcerers. We follow Chihiro's journey not only to collect all of his father's stolen swords, but to also protect the weak against Yakuza, sorcerers, and a secret organization hell-bent on using the enchanted blades for evil. At first glance, where Kagurabachi excels is in its cool factor. It has everything you're looking for in that department. High-flying action, sword-swinging battles, and gruesome imagery to turn up the intensity. Kagurabachi's presentation is very akin to Western style of writing, a fusion of Kill Bill / John Wick imagery and structure. Even the way the series is paneled, it gives me heavy Quentin Tarantino vibes. The author himself has expressed how much Western media has inspired him in how he writes. The distinct style is what sets Kagurabachi apart from its contemporaries. To this day, that first chapter as Chihiro enters that room full of thugs and takes them down with a single swing has stuck with me, and this series has continued to kill it in its presentation. From the design, the dialogue, the paneling, it can come off pretty edgy at times, but it's just so cool. But again, that's just on the surface. The underlying layer of Kagurabachi that I really enjoy is in the characterization. It's purposely designed to make average readers only focus on the surface level cool factor, especially when it comes to how our main character behaves. His calm, collected behavior will make many think of characters like Sasuke from Naruto or Megumi from Jujutsu Kaisen. But what makes Chihiro so fascinating to watch is how his true nature consistently peeks out through the facade. He is arrogant, reckless, and at times self-destructive. His level of dedication to completing his goal allows him to stay focused, and he does have amazing assessment skills for his age. But he is still a kid, he is still inexperienced, and there are always moments where that yearning to cut loose or that need to take down his opponent will affect his judgment for better or for worse. His battles with Sojo are great examples of that inner beast that wants to break free and cast judgment on those who walk the path of evil. That balancing act makes him a great protagonist to follow. The characterization doesn't just apply to Chihiro though. KB has some really fun and layered characters that can steal the show at a moment's notice. Right now, my boy Hikari started off as a real stinker, but has blossomed into one of the best side characters in the manga. Kagurabachi was a series that I did not have high hopes for. I enjoyed the beginning because it did something different from other series, and it took its time with its characters and world building. But 5 to 7 chapters in, I just wasn't compelled enough to think the series had legs. The memes were wearing thin, and I thought the series was gearing up for an axe. But I was wrong. Kagurabachi is at the forefront of what makes this new era so great, and I can't wait to see what else is in store for the future. Like I said at the start, I've been reading Shonen Jump for a really long time. I'm not an expert on the publication itself, and nor do I claim to be. I'm just a fan. I'm a fan of all of these amazing stories from these incredible authors from generation to generation, and all I can say is that I've never been happier to be a fan of Shonen Jump than I am right now. All of these series have style. I've been saying this throughout the video, and I hope I've been able to illustrate that. The creativity, ambition, and fresh ideas showcased in this current lineup is what makes reading manga so fun to me. I hate to say it as a fan of the Big Three era, but right now, the best era of Shonen Jump might have to go to the 2020s. Which makes me wonder, what do we call this current era? Like, I feel like it should have its own proper name, you know? There's been enough series where we can collectively go, yeah, this is the era. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. What would be a cool name to have for this current era? Now, hold on. I actually have something I want to show you guys. While writing the script for this video, I came across this amazing announcement from Viz. They're starting something called the Viz Original One-Shot program, which will allow new mangakas a chance to showcase their work on the Shonen Jump website. This will give readers a chance to check out new, fresh stories from aspiring Shonen Jump mangakas and hopefully get these artists some word of mouth for their work. As of right now, 4 one-shots are available to read. My personal favorite was The Stranger by Liam Naughton. The art style kind of reminds me of Pluto, especially with illustrations like this. Super noir vibes. Who knows? One of these mangaka could create something that gets another young black kid into Shonen Jump like these series did for me all those years ago. But that's going to be it from me. Thanks again for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.